Alright, what's going on everybody? Captain here, back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video. Today's video is going to be talking about the guy that surprisingly turned out to be the MVP for me in Chapter 1 of Ultron's Assault variant. So this is the first variant I'm talking about, not the one that was just released. I know I'm way behind the curve on this, but I finally went through it, so I figured I would talk about it a little bit. I opened up my rewards for that, so if you haven't seen that already, go ahead and check out yesterday's video. I posted that up on the channel. But today we're going to be talking about Masacre and why he was my MVP. So you'll see right here, I've got my 6-star Masacre loaded up. And the big thing with him is wanting to get his bat ignited. The way you do this is a couple ways, basically. Well, whenever your bat makes contact with the opponent, it has a chance to give you an ignition charge. If you're going hitting into a block, it's a guaranteed chance you'll get one charge. And it's only the hits that land with the bat. If you're hitting into them normally, any crit is going to give you a charge as well. And also, if you're hitting into an opponent that already has an incinerate on them, that will also give you another charge. So once you've got that bat ignited, each hit again with the bat will place an incinerate on the opponent, and that will start doing energy damage for over 5 seconds. Each incinerate also increases by 1 second for each incinerate debuff on the opponent. So the more you have on them, the longer they're going to last. You can refresh these by landing a special one that will refresh the timer of all of them you have on him. I have a couple fights later on that you can see this kind of firsthand. And then also you'll gain power when striking a block as if it's landing a hit. So you gain power there as well. So that's kind of the basics about igniting his bat and what you need to know. I'll also showcase here, I've got some synergies going. This was kind of the basic team I was running, and then throughout all of Chapter 1, and then the 5th spot was kind of thrown in. For the first portion, it was, for the first quest, it was Gambit. For that stun cheese lock, whatever. Second one I used a little bit of Omega Red. The last one I kind of used Iceman. Anyways, going into the synergies here, the main two that I used were these two with Domino and Gwenpool. The first one with Gwenpool, ignited duration increases by 25%. This is huge. You're ignited longer. You're able to inflict more incinerates on the opponent, aka in the end you're doing more damage. Also, it increases incinerate debuffs for Gwenpool, which Gwenpool, she's definitely good in this quest as well, especially if you've got yourself a 5-star. She'll help you out for sure. The other one is the one with Domino. Most people bring this synergy for their Domino. Well, I was bringing it for my Masacre since I only have a 4-star Domino. I still used her, but I used Masacre a tremendous amount more. But this synergy for Masacre is fantastic. It's kind of a roulette, but if it plays in your favor at the start of the fight, as you'll see a couple of times it does for me, a couple of times it doesn't, it can really be very nice. So you have a random chance to start the fight with 1 or 5 ignition charges. Also, whenever your ignition phase ends, you also get this chance too again. So it'll give you another couple ignitions once your bat is not ignited. Other than that, the other synergies kind of not really doing anything. A little bit increased critical rating for Deadpool. You gain the evade. You don't need an evade on Massacre. So those are the only two. And the other one you can't even bring in because it's, he's not a skill or a mutant. And so plus with Domino and Gwenpool, it gives you a lot of diversity. It's actually a strong lineup for these quests. So now that I've broken down how his incinerates work and how to ignite his bat and his synergies, let's go ahead and jump into the battles, guys. I've got 4 fights in particular that I recorded that I thought went extremely well for the most part and can showcase how he is such an MVP for Chapter 1. So up first, we have Mr. Iron Man Infinity War. In Chapter 1, this is the Enhanced Special 2, so it's Unblockable Special 2, Special 2 Biased. So you see starting right off the bat, I started with a couple charges, I got a couple blocked into hits, didn't quite make it to 10. I'm talking about the number up in the top left, the blue. It's like a blue incinerate now until I get it ignited, then it turns orange. Then you see I do get hit by a special one. So starting off wasn't the best start, but I make a pretty incredible recovery in this fight. Got it up to 7, 8, 9, need just one more. I should have just blocked into them there, but this was early on in my questing, so I wasn't 100% like comfortable fighting with Masacre yet, because prior to this, I really hadn't fought with him. I really only brought him in because I'm like, I didn't have many other great options at in the skill or mutant class, so I figured I'd bring him, and overall, he pleasantly surprised me. So there we go, finally got my bat ignited, and you'll see every single hit I land with the bat places an incinerate, and then I refresh them with the special one instantly. Now they're starting to fall off, so I need to get a couple more back on him, kind of back him up into the wall here. I'm in good position, so there we go, we're getting more. Incinerate falls off. I started with 3 thanks to that domino synergy, and since he is incinerated, I get a bunch of more incinerate charges right back, and now my bat is ignited once again. And we got up to 7 incinerates on him that time. Doing a good job evading his specials right now, just trying to get those incinerates on him as much as possible. Got him down below almost 10% now. He throws a special 2, I evade it right there. Doing good, and I thought he was about to throw a heavy there, wasn't paying attention. Turns out it was a special 1 and I died, but overall it was a pretty good fight, seeing as how I started the fight out pretty bad. Up next we have a mutant Ultron mini boss that was in the 3rd quest. I thought I had some recorded from chapter 2 or quest 2, but I guess I don't. But this is just one of the mini boss, mutant one on the right side of the quest here in quest number 3. So getting into this fight, so far it's been kind of slow going. He hasn't really dashed back and blocked. I am a little bit more experienced fighting with his playstyle at this point, so trying to see my openings of when I can dash in. You can see right there I get 2 good spots. I'm up to 8, he dashes back. The original ones are starting to fall off though, so I wasn't quite able to get it up to 10 just yet, but there we go, we finally have it. And what's nice about these Ultron bosses as well is they have only 2 bars, so I can go in as much as I want. I don't have to bait specials very much, but he does have the electro special, so I do have to watch out for those. They can really hurt you if they hit you. You can see I am down to 15% health, so it wasn't the best start, but once again we make a fantastic recovery in this fight. You can see I've got the incinerates going, I get my bat reignited once again, and I'm about to refresh all those. I have 7 of them, so there you go, all 7 of them, you can see they refresh, and you can see he is immune obviously, so I would be placing bleeds, but he's not. I get my incinerates all the way up to 11. Ideally I'd want to refresh it there. End up getting on 1 of them, but there's 10, and then boom, he drops. What a fantastic recovery. Like I said, I was down to 15% health for a majority of that fight, so that was pretty awesome. Now these last 2 fights are the really awesome ones I wanted to show you. First up, we've got a Tech Ultron on the Masochism node, right smack dab in the middle of the 3rd quest. These 2 fights are basically a perfect fight that if I could have ever had one. Like, they both go so well. So I only start out with 1 charge because of the domino synergy, but hey, 1 charge is better than none. I get quickly right up to 9, and then my first basic hit I get critical hit, so I get my bat ignited, so we are off and running right from the gates. So this is a pretty good situation to be in. I want to keep those incinerates going, so there we go, I refresh them, and now I have 7 going, and I still have about almost a little bit more than quarter of my incinerate time going. I get him up to 12 incinerates. 1 drops off, so I keep it at 11. He's almost dead practically at this point, and look at my health, a full yellow bar still, and he dies with 100% health. That fight literally could not have gone any better, and I was just so happy that I happened to record it. And I was like, at this point I'm like, okay, yeah, I definitely have to make a video and show this, because this guy is a monster for this quest. So the final fight I want to showcase for you guys today is the final Sabretooth in quest number 3, and it just has an increased buff duration, but he is a pretty beefy stacked Sabretooth. One thing I do want to point out is I will be reversing his healing because of the Despair Mastery, so I'll have enough debuffs active on him that I'll actually be reversing his healing. So you're going to see so many red numbers popping up off of this guy in just a little bit here. So you can see pretty early on into the fight, similar to the last one, I get my bat ignited. So now it is time to start stacking up these incinerates. Now he is not bleed immune, so I'll also be placing the bleeds as well, plus my weaknesses because of my mastery setup as well. So you guys right here, you can already see he's more than a quarter of the way down. He's got 30 plus regens, but look at the red numbers just ticking as a, if you can't even see it. If you pause the video, you might be able to, but some of these are ticking over 1,000, and it's just insane damage that I'm keeping my bat incinerated the whole time. Plus, I'm doing a fantastic job of evading his specials. His special 1 is definitely easier to evade than his SB2, but it isn't too bad either. And you can see right here, at this point, I'm like, the fight's in the bag. I just have to not make a stupid mistake. I refresh the incinerates one last time, and down he goes. What an incredible way to finish off. And this was my last run through of the quest, so I just had to fight the last Ultron one more time, so I was pretty jazzed at this point. So there you have it, guys. Those are some fights that I felt stood out amongst the others that showcase of why Masacre was MVP for me, and could hopefully help out some of you as well. I know Masacre might not be the first person you think of for a quest like this. A lot of you probably have your Dominoes, you have a 5-star Archangel, Iceman, or many of the new characters now, Havoc, Sinister, or Nick Fury. There's lots of characters now that I'm sure could do this really well, but for a roster, if you have a roster similar to mine, Masacre might be kind of a good spot to look for you, because looking through, guys, I mainly had other 4-stars to use. I could have done it with some of these 4-stars. I mean, I still used my Gwenpool and my Domino, my Iceman, as I mentioned, but that was kind of about it. Past that, I didn't have many fantastic options, so I kind of made do with what I had, and turned out I ended up having a really good person. So guys, if you got yourself a 5 or a 6-star Masacre and you're trying to complete variant, I hope some of these tips helped you out for that. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, let me know down in the comments down below. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.